Hi, so today I'm going to walk through my favourite boss temple, which is the Lightning Temple, this massive pyramid in the middle of the Gerudo desert. I really love this temple, so we're just going to play through this and I'm going to try and summarise why I enjoy this the most of all the temples in the game. So obviously when you start, Queen Gibdo comes out, looking all menacing and scary. Yeah, that definitely is a bit terrifying. And she's quite big. You get a scale picture in a second compared to us. There it is. I love what Gerudo says.
Come on, let's take it down together.
Let's take it down together. I'm like, have you seen the size of this thing? I actually tried something slightly different. I thought, I wonder what happens if you just run away. Does it just chase you across the entire Gerudo desert? What happens? And after a certain distance this happens. Poof. I thought, is she defeated? Nope, she just appears back at the temple gates. Now, if I'd been smart at this point, I would have tried to actually approach her from above. Sort of climb up the temple from a different direction and then attack her. But that's not what I did. I just charged straight back in. So it's been a while since I've done this, so I couldn't quite remember the details of this temple and how this fight works. And I thought we had to get her down to half health, and that was difficult, but that's not actually what you need to do, as you see here. So you got to just hit her twice with the lightning.
Nothing but sand wherever we look. Where did it go?
Again, Riju. Where is she? I mean, Riju says hilarious things in this. Anyway, that's it. You get her twice. But then she buzzes off to the top of the temple. Now Riju's plan is, let's go inside and find a way to the top. I just thought, why don't we just climb to the top? I mean, if she's gone up the top, why don't we just chase her and just forget the whole temple? So that's what I did. So yeah, I started climbing the outside of the pyramid. And actually, it's quite an easy structure to climb. The slopes aren't that steep. And there's these nice convenient steps here. Almost as if the developers want you to climb this way. Maybe they did. Maybe that was the intention. To try this first and then do the front door. I don't know. Anyway, so you slowly but steadily go up the side of the pyramid. You come out into the nice clear air, which is nice. You're above the mist and the haze. And then eventually you get to the top. So at the top there's this big open flat surface essentially, and it's pretty obvious she's not here, the Queen Gibdo. There are, however, some ore deposits, and there's some gold ones as well, which is quite nice. So there is some benefit of making this long trek, but there isn't really much else, and there's no obvious way in which where the Queen Gibdo went. How did she get inside the structure? Now, after moving all around the top, this is the area which looks most plausible, where there's sand, but you can't get in this way. So yeah, to be honest, as expected, there's nothing else really to do. So now we're forced to go back down the way we came, all the way to the front entrance, and go into the dungeon proper. So back at the entrance, obviously we use Riju's power to get inside, and then we enter the temple proper. Now the first room, there's not that much going on. It gets a bit more interesting in a minute when we descend. We do do our first bit of ancient archaeology with these priceless urns, which of course I completely decimate throughout the rest of the game. And Riju doesn't seem to care anyway. We are going to jump now to slightly later when we start going down and descending into the temple itself. And that's where I think the atmosphere is superb and done brilliantly. So as you descend into the depths of the temple, it gets darker and darker, more gloomy. And you finally emerge on this level with Riju, and it's pretty dark. And it does have the mood and atmosphere of something like from Indiana Jones. You know, you are alone exploring something which hasn't been opened for hundreds of years, thousands of years, and you have no idea what's down here. And I just think the lighting with the moody music, it all adds together to make something which just works very well. You know, the sense of exploration, the sense of danger. There's the traps which are laid in throughout the pyramid. You know, some of which are obvious, some of which are not so obvious, and you don't see coming. It makes actually exploring this feel like a true adventure, and I thought it was done excellently. I will show you some of the highlights of me going to the actual temple, and as I said earlier, more archaeological sacrilege. I mean, these urns or vases have been unseen by man for thousands of years, and I just pick them up and destroy them for the purpose of a couple hours. And again, Riju, whose culture this is, I'm the destroyer, doesn't care at all. So, exploring the dungeon, we pick up our torch and proceed in. You see obviously some sort of flame trap ahead, but before we get there, there's a falling pit trap. The entire middle section of the floor collapses. And even when we throw down a light seed, it's not clear whether we should go down or not, or... I mean, it is actually fine to go down, but that sense of ominousity, that's the word, is still there. It's and you're not sure what the right way forward is. Now, here there clearly is some sort of repeating flame trap. Now, whenever I see a trap, I'm always interested in, can I use it against my enemies? That's just the way my brain thinks. So I try pushing them in, and it works quite well. It's nicely on fire. Riju goes in and hits them a few times. After defeating the Gibdos, you get through the fire trap. I use this block, but you can do it just with timing, I think. But then essentially you get into the next room. There's a nice little switch which lets Riju get through unscathed. I was thinking of actually tempting her through and then removing the block and toasting her, but you can't do that. And you then go into the next area. So, torch lit, we continue the journey into the dark. Seemingly innocuous room, but whoa! There's a massive flaming fireball coming down the corridor.
Fireballs now? Looks like we're stuck again.
It's pretty obvious how to get past this, but still it's a nice effect, and I like the idea. Not too difficult to get past. I do try something else here. So the flaming fireballs have been stopped. Great.
The fireball stopped.
But something that comes to is, I wonder where they actually came from. Is there like something mechanism dropping them or something? There's this huge ominous hole leading upwards. So I thought, let's climb it. I got a fair amount of stamina. I got plenty of food which can replenish my stamina. Let's go. But there's a problem. It slips you down. Now the first time this happened I thought maybe I did something stupid, I pressed a button, but no, it won't let you climb up. So I tried something else. That's right, good old ascend. So let's see where that tunnel leads to. It's got to go somewhere, hasn't it? But this didn't work either, actually. Yep. Just took me right outside the pyramid. And if I pop out here, I've got to go back down to the beginning and start all over again. So I didn't really fancy that. So down I go. And abandon the journey of seeing where that tunnel leads, and I just get on with going through the dungeon as they intended. So, onwards we go. There's a Gibdo here. We deal with him quite quickly. That's not too much of a challenge. And then after the Gibdo, we enter this interesting room. So there's this like pit in the middle, and there's a sarcophagus down there. But in the middle of the pit, there's one of those funny Gibdo towers. that spawn the Gibdos. Now, it doesn't seem to be active at the moment, so I'm like, okay, let's go down and raid all the loot. Of course, I'm distracted from the sarcophagus by the priceless vases. Actually, that gave me an opal one. That was actually valuable. Anyway, there's that sudden change, that sound. It makes me think, maybe something's just happened. And lo and behold, the Gibdos have started spawning. So, of course, I try and use what I've got available to me, i.e. the vases, to whack them. I think it does do a tiny amount of damage. But then after temporary blinding system, I realise I've got a bit of a problem because I'm using the torch, and when I use my actual weapon, it breaks. Looking through my equipment, there's none of the other weapons I actually want to use. I've got plans for that one, and the rock hammer thing. I like having that to break rocks, so I don't really want to use any of these things. So, slightly hit. I actually have a different plan. Basically, leave Gerudo to do it on her own. She's a strong, capable woman, she'll be fine. I quickly run back actually down the corridor where I defeated the Gibdo. There was a weapon. I grab that and I come back. So, coming back into the room, Gerudo suddenly runs up to me. She's run away from the challenge. Anyway, I use her power to destroy the Gibdo tower itself. And then it's just the Gibdos that had spawned down there. And Gerudo bravely charges ahead. Obviously, she's got her courage back. And I think, actually, you know what? I'll let her do this on her own. It will be a turning point for her. Maybe, coming of age thing. Having the crap beaten out of you by 5 Gibdos. I thought, what can I do? So I thought, I'll take a picture. It's a good time for a selfie. With the epic fight going on in the background, all getting grunting as you're getting pounded by the Gibdos. But now I thought, let's just immortalise this by a nice picture. The flame's actually helping the torch. Every now and then it sits when the Gibdos are light. Anyway, after spending some time going through all the poses, I fit with this one, which is great. And it stores it in my compendium as Gibdo. Every time I see that picture, I'm going to remember this moment. Just to be safe, always good advice when taking pictures. Take at least 2, just in case the first one's not great. And this goes to a different part of my compendium. Marvellous. Anyway, I figure I should probably help Gerudo about this moment. So I thought, okay, let's end this. Quick blast. Most of them are gone. Only left one, and stupidly standing next to the torch. Good job, Gerudo. And I didn't have to use my sword at all. Fantastic. Anyway, after all that, I hope there's going to be something fantastic in the sarcophagus. And there's just a bow. It was a reasonable bow. So I ditch my weaker bow, grab this one, and move on for the rest of the dungeon. As I'm leaving, I suddenly think, oh, actually, I should do something smart. So my sword, which I just picked up, which is pretty terrible, I may as well fuse it with something. And I wonder if I can fuse it with these big slabs. I can, great. Then I notice I can also fuse it with my bow. What I want, slab, bow. I know what I'm going with, bow. And I end up with this weapon that looks like, well, it reminds me of that scene from Tron. Those of you can remember the first film. I think they throw that, in the game they throw the light ball around. Anyway, it's a bit different. Let's go with that. And plus it gives me a bit of a longer reach. Moving up the stairs, I move into the Room of Hopeful Light. That's a good name, I like it. Hopeful for whom, I wonder. There's not much going on in here, so I dispatch of the Guardian without too much difficulty. So, the room itself, I quite like the effect of the light coming down. It's quite nice visually. Over in the corners where we need to go, there's this little room. There's a chest there, but it's a trap. As you can see, the floor is going to fall out under me. That's quite nasty, that. Again, here you can see it where the trap's going down. Anyway, what you need from this room is actually these mirrors. And as you guys who are watching this probably already know, there's this effect where obviously you bounce the light rays off the mirrors. Now, this comes up again and again in this game, but you know, this might be the first time you see this in this this temple. It's possible if you haven't done many of the shrines. But it's a nice little dynamic. Anyway, we then get access to the next room, which is actually not a room but a path upwards. This is up to the main room of the temple, the room of ascension. The clues in the name. This massively high room, and there's a little sort of cutscene or interplay that plays here. And there's one of those funny green switches. So you tap that after Riju says a few things. And then the all-important teleportation circle appears, which means I don't have to go through everything I've been through again. The platform lifts up and then it collapses down. Just like all the other boss temples, you've got to do something to actually get where you need to get to. And again, like all the other boss temples, you have this funny dialogue here. Now, listen to her voice.
This platform connects to the very top of this temple.
It's the same voice actress who did Urbosa in Breath of the Wild.
Use your power to charge the 4 batteries, and it will function once more.
It's not supposed to be. There's no connection to Urbosa with this character, but it sounds very similar to me. Maybe I'm just imagining it. I don't know. Anyway, so Riju says a few things, and then you get to explore this new part of the temple, which is actually what you're here to do. Get this lift working. Ooh, vases. Go again. As I hit them, actually, the bricks moved a bit, which that was useful. So it was good to destroy the vases. It showed me the way forward. I thought, wait a minute, Riju's running out of the way. I wonder if it's programmed to not let you drop it on them. Oh, no, you can drop it on them. Sorry, Riju. Just testing. Are there any good scientists? Just see if we can do that again. Damn. I mean, good. I missed her. Good. But the code is definitely there. She does, just like when you get your camera out, they try to avoid having their picture taken. In the same way, they avoid having things dropped to them, which I guess is sensible. So I activated Riju, and then I was going to shoot this as you're supposed to. Then I thought, is there another way of doing this? Maybe there's some other way of activating this. Does she need to follow an arrow with her lightning? Maybe if I just throw anything else? Does that work? No. Alright, then I thought, well, maybe I can do it myself. Maybe I don't even need Riju. I'll use these lightning lemon things. That doesn't work either. I tried shooting it as well. That also doesn't work. At which point I thought, forget it. Back to what you're supposed to do. If anyone knows another way of activating these, please let me know. But I think it's only Riju that works.
Alright, 3 left.
So after this, we have a bit of more senseless destruction. And then we get back to what we should be doing. So, there's this little brick over here, obviously, which conceals this updraft. You can then take us up the rest of the room.
I'll leave that area to you, Link.
Which is really useful. We can get to the top area here after we get rid of the guards and a bit of more destruction. Then looking around trying to work out what to do at this area. Now, when I was looking, I realised, there's another layer above me. There's some little alcoves up there. Can I get up to the alcoves? Let's use Ascend and find out. This doesn't quite pan out the way I thought it was going to. I'm like, ooh, this is actually where the room where you fight the Queen Gibdo. This is where you're trying to get to using the lift. I just bypass the temple. So I get out. Now, I thought the Queen was going to just spawn, but she doesn't. I thought all I need is Riju to somehow get up here, and then we're in business. But obviously, it's designed so that Riju can't get up. It forces you to do the temple, which is slightly frustrating. No obvious place where the Queen Gibdo is actually hiding. Don't know. I thought it might be over here. Looks like there's a room behind here. but when I got closer I realised that actually that's not where the queen is, that's what you get after you defeat the queen. That's the tier. Right, so with no show from the queen, there wasn't much more to do in here. So we jump down through the hole and descend down to this the upper platform where there's all these mirrors on these statues. Now you got to move these around, but first of all you got to get a light beam coming in, which we'll do in this little room. It's easy enough. There's a big central column of light coming down. You find the mirrors in there, strap them to the top of this block, and then move the block across so that the light gets out of the room. And what's better than one mirror? 2 mirrors, just in case, you know. Anyway, back outside we then slide these statues into position such that the light reflects off them and activates certain things. Which with this one I got completely by fluke. So yeah, the light sensor gets triggered and then this switch is revealed, which then later opens you into a room. Before I do that one though, I move some of the other statues around. I solve another one of these little puzzles by activating another light activated switch. Not quite got that right, a little bit of adjustment. There we go. So I actually climb up to that one first, go in through here, press the switch, the statue slides out the way, and down this little corridor I suddenly see something which looks very dangerous, this massive drop through flames. But actually it's not that tricky, you just aim for the gaps and it's not too difficult. When you get down to the bottom you then find yourself by one of the batteries. Fantastic. Go press the switch, the door opens, and this should allow Riju to come in now. Where is she? She's taking her time. Oh, I thought I heard her then. How did she do that? Anyway, battery activated, easy enough. And then we get on to the next room. So we go inside, and this is quite an interesting room. There's a Gibdo tower, and there's also a beam of light. There's 4 guardians, 2 on the floor, 2 on floating platforms. But there's a lot going on in this room. But I'll obviously do what I need to do first, obviously. And after that, I try and take out the guards who are actually on floating platforms. Too difficult. Hello there. And I actually push him down to the ground. Anyway, I then retreat up to the one remaining floating platform. And because I've realised actually, maybe I should just stay out of this. The Gibdos are attacking the Zonai guards. Maybe I should just let them go at it. So I try sitting up here, but the problem is I'm actually still being seen and shot at, which is a bit annoying. And the fight is going on for ages. Gibdos are tough, but the beam of light is weakening them, but they keep coming. There's no stopping them. Anyway, I am getting hurt sitting here, so I look around for a better way out, and there's a platform up here which works a bit better. So I instead take shelter up here. I adjust myself, make sure I'm comfortable and I can see roughly what's going on. And then I sit down and watch the fight. So, how have we done? Well, the Zonai guards are just about to be wiped out here. It's the last guard going down. Poof, so he's gone. Right, and now it's just the Gibdo left. So I come down and have a look and see how much progress I've got. There's a fair few Gibdo bones here. The Zonai guys did quite well actually. The Gibdos are still trapped with the lights, which is great. I can pretty much ignore them. So this is the mob farm version 1. Problem is you get through your weapons quite quickly doing this. The light helps and makes it quite easy, but there's not too much manual labour. I don't like it. So just a second. Here we have Mob Farm version 2. Now I've used some of the mirrors that are in the room to produce these beams, which means that the Gibdos get knocked out before they get to me. And I'm using the torch, which works exceedingly well. You walk up to them and they get ignited before they can lay a hit on you. It's great. Here, I've moved on to Mob Farm version 3. Now you can see I'm using the mirrors off the shields from the Zonai guards here to just increase the potency of this light effect and just surround the Gibdo tree, or Gibdo tower, with these light beams. Now you can see as the Gibdo spawn in the background, you can see there's a pawn there, it's just been killed by the light. Then as soon as he comes out of that, it illuminates all the other mirrors. This works quite well. I rarely have to do anything, and the little I would normally do, Reiju runs in and does it for me. So yeah, this is a particularly effective setup. Occasionally I have to get my torch out and burn one of them, but apart from that, this pretty much runs on its own. There is a slight modification to this, which we'll come to a bit later. But yeah, this is pretty good. Anyway, eventually I get back to what I'm supposed to be doing in this room. Just get into the battery, of course. I use this little levitating slab and the mirror to activate this light sensor. Then the door kind of raises and there's the battery. It's all quite simple. But I don't activate it just yet. I realise that actually there's a mirror here. Another mirror. Here comes Mob Farm version 4. So here we go. It's pretty much the same as the previous version, except there's an extra beam here which cuts even closer to the Gibdo tower. This is the final version I do. I guess I could have got more Zonai mirrors out, but this works so well. There's not really much to do here. You know, I've got my torch out just in case anyone gets close. It needs a bit of burning, but pretty much it's a bit pathetic really. They spawn, they collapse the ground, they writhe for a bit and then they just explode. And I grab the remains. It's an amazingly efficient system actually. 308 Gibdo bones. For those of you interested, when I started this temple, here's a shot from then, I had 98. I've farmed 200 Gibdo bones. That's not bad, people. Anyway, I then get back to what I'm supposed to be doing. Activate the battery. And lo and behold.
Only one more battery to go.
She sounds very English to me. Maybe that's just me, but the way she said that sentence.
Only one more battery to go.
Anyway, I then leave this place, but I do leave the Gibdo farm running. I'm enjoying it too much. I wasn't going to destroy it. So one last light thing to activate. I need to remind myself how to do this. So I go back at the top. Work out. I must be adjusting the mirrors somehow. Now the light beam from this room has stopped stopped working, which is really odd. Where have my mirrors gone? And where are the mirrors over here? I think what's happened is all the mirrors downstairs despawn the mirrors upstairs. So I get out a new mirror and put it on, and that seems to work. Okay. Now I need to work out how to solve this puzzle. Anyway, I can't work it out, so I do what seems like a logical thing. Get out another mirror. Probably not the way you're supposed to do it, but it kind of worked. It was a little fiddly getting this angle right. A bit of trial and error. Eventually I just about get it. Any second. Any second. Maybe? Maybe? Please? There we go. Ah, finally. Anyway, last doorway opens. I go through. Crushing walls with spikes.
This thing is going to be a problem.
I love Riju's line here. It's like, yeah, stating the obvious. Well done, Riju. Anyway, pick up one of these books. I noticed Riju runs out the way quickly. That reminds me of something. Riju? Oh, she's so close. I'm like, oh. Just come here. Come on. Just come there. Come on. Come on. Hold still. Hold still. I got ya. Oh, damn it. The casual way she just calmly walks away. Let's try that again. Hold still. I think she's learnt a lesson from earlier. Anyway, what am I supposed to be doing? I bring the boulder with me, I wonder if I could, you know, just to the name of science, trap Reju amongst the spikes. Is this going to work? So I wedged the boulder in. I thought, woo! Come on, Reju. Come on, down the pathway. Come on, you can do it. Surely she's going to fall for that. It's so easy for her to do. Come on, Reju. Come on. I accidentally pressed the switch. Then she can come through.
Hey, the trap is disabled. We can get past now.
Great. Maybe I'll just stop bullying Reju and get back to what I'm actually here to do. So there's another crushing trap here. So I use this boulder and wedge it open. There's 2 Zonai guards in here. First one I take care of fairly quickly. A bit of a blast from Reju. But I feel a bit bad about the second one. He's probably the last guardian in the entire temple, so I try and just ignore him, sort of, you know, let him live. He's just doing his job. I felt bad about. I wiped out all his buddies. Maybe I should just, you know, let him be. You know. So I just try and move away, and then he whacks me. I'm like, all right, boy. That's it. Sorry, I was gonna let you live, but not now. So I get out my best weapon and I pulverize him. I guess that's genocide. I've wiped out all the Zonai guards in the Lightning Temple. There's none of them left. Okay, only thing left to do is to go down here to this funny room, which I don't remember. What am I supposed to do here? Oh, wait, there's a light sensor there. Let's just check that. Yeah, there it is. And there's these spike things. Okay, got it. Come on. Pin the tail on the donkey wasn't my best game. Let's try again. Come on. I can do it. Come on. Come on, get the timing right. In it goes. Yeah, that's close enough. Ooh. I was about to get a mirror, but there's one here. That's handy. Get that out. Put that on the light source. Activates that light sensor. Fantastic. Opens the roof above. Beam goes up. And my mirror up there immediately activates the other light sensor. Fantastic. And that reveals the battery. So, all I've got to do is get out of here, ascend up, run along, find where Riju's got to. Oh, there she is. And then activate the battery. Come here, Reju. Come here, come here, come here. Ah, got it. Dancing around each other there. Anyway, there's a shot. And that's it. Everything's activated. The lift should be working.
We've charged all of the batteries with lightning.
She still sounds very
that
English
should
to
wake
me.
up the mechanism in the center. Let's go, Link.
Anyway, that is it. She is correct. There is nothing more to do. So we're going to go back to the middle room and activate the lift, yeah? Well, before I do that, I first go back to my Gibdo farm and see how it's getting on. And unfortunately, all the mirrors have despawned. That's a bit disappointing. I pick up the bones that are there. There's something really weird here though. There's a mirror in the light. Do you see that? But it's not doing anything. I thought maybe it's being nudged out of the light, but no. Somehow the mirror's still there, but it's just not doing what it's supposed to be. Some sort of bug there. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, I pick up the Gibdo bones that are there. And yeah, then just head back to the middle of the temple. So despite all my messing around, I do think this is a fantastic boss temple, and my favourite by far. But I'm not going to press the button, and there's a reason why. What I've actually done is I have completed all the boss temples without actually defeating the boss. There's the wind temple, there's the water temple, and the fire temple. I've done them all. And the reason for this is actually for the next video we're going to make, where we're going to take on each boss one at a time and find out once and for all which of them is the easiest. So that is what's going to come next. I might do this with Samuel and we'll compare, you know, his playthrough style to mine, but we are going to get to the bottom of this. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this walkthrough. I love this temple, and yeah, thanks for watching.